I have to tell you, every day I run to my boat. And when I take the first stroke, no matter what the weather is, waves or not, and the peacefulness on this water, and the silence, and thoughts come together, and then I feel my rhythm and my breathing. It is this joy, peacefulness, pleasure that I see that the children feel too. And that is really a most wonderful gift that I can give these young people.
Monica's like the grandmother to every kid who joins the program.
Look at these youngsters rowing with such enthusiasm.
When the kids join, they don't realize they now have a new grandmother. And she was one of those founding members that was a driving force that worked with all of us to help make this a dream a reality.
Here I'm living in this paradise, Port Washington, surrounded by 3 sides of water.
I think port rowing got started really with the idea of Monica questioning why are there no port rowing boats out there.
I looked at the water and I said, where is the youth of Port Washington? Why don't we have a rowing team?
It was peculiar because I met Monica not in person really. I was rowing, I was going across to Larchmont, and I saw this woman waving at me from a sailboat. Seemed peculiar to me. I guess someone very enthusiastic to see someone out there crazy enough to go across the sound. Well, the next day, I got a knock on my door, and it was, "Hi, are you Mitch Tamkins?" And I go, "Yes." She goes, "I'm Monica Dorman. I'm the crazy lady waving at you from the sailboat."
Mitch and Monica are huge parts of that boat. That's that driving force of port rowing, and we always say one stroke, one boat, one goal. And it really holds true.
Monica, to me, is our matron saint.
Sometimes I saw the crew come out of Hampstead Harbor, and I would row quickly to them and I would say, one day, Port Washington is going to have a crew. And they looked at me quite weird. There was a wonderful member of our committee who doesn't want to be mentioned, but his name starts with an M.
If that question was posed by Monica Dorman, the answer is yes.
Who bought 7 boats, used boats, but wonderful boats, and we could start rowing.
So for the cost of a new boat, we were able to get 5 8s, used 8s, 2 4s, and a trailer.
The joy of seeing these students walking for the first time, stepping into the boats of 8, taking their first strokes, my heart was beating. This is what I dreamt of. This is how it should be here in Port Washington. And we competed, and they won.
If you were to ask me 4 years ago that this is where we would be, I would think you were crazy. We've come so far in 4 years.
What Mitch has done for this team, for rowing in Port Washington, I am extremely grateful and thankful. And I could have never done the things that he has done. Thank you, Mitch.
Being involved in this and watching it from afar, to me, the heroes out there are the kids, the coaches, doing their work. I think that Monica, myself, Steve, all kind of share together this teamwork of getting this thing done.
Mitch Tamkin, along with Monica, have been a great part of this organization, and without neither of them, we wouldn't have been able to get where we are.
When I rowed at Penn, we were number 1, number 2 in the country, and I guess when he rowed on the Schuylkill, I guess they weren't as good. I didn't even know Temple had rowing, but I guess they have a program.
Mitch Tamkin, pain in my ass. What? Did you get that?
Steve and I are friends. He has a phenomenal ability to motivate kids.
One of our board members, who's a contributing member to this whole thing, called me about a year and a half ago saying he has a son with autism and what can we do? And at that time, I said, I'm not sure, but let's make it work.
Well, the adaptive program is phenomenal. The adaptive program takes this whole port rowing into another dimension. To see the kids out there rowing. Generally, they row with a high school kid.
So I want you to start off with a power 20, okay?
And to see the smile on their faces.
All right, sit ready at the catch, okay? Ready? Row. Good.
See how much joy they get. I think that if you're a senior or a junior and you're helping kids with autism, the satisfaction of being part of that, I could talk to you on behalf of everybody in the organization. There's a huge sense of pride.
I love rowing and being on the water. Our coaches are really great and judge us a lot. We exercise a lot and practice hard so that our team can win lots of medals. The boys on my boat are awesome and we have a great time. Port rowing is the best.
You watch port rowing go by, and in the bow seat is Michael Caceres, rowing with the rest of the freshman boys. You couldn't help but walk away and just tears in your eyes because you say, wait, this kid has totally integrated into the program. He's one of the boys out there. He's now graduated to a point where he can row in an 8. And that to me was the highlight by far this year.
The nice thing about rowing is when you finish, you realize every person in the boat next to you put in as much time and effort and they worked as hard as you did, and their bodies are going through the same pain.
You definitely know when the boat gets in sync. It's kind of like a clicking feeling.
And you had the respect of whoever won that race, whoever lost that race.
You're swinging together and you really feel like the boat's moving and you really feel everyone working together really well.
Those experiences are something that I love to see these kids get.
It sort of feels like you're flying.
When you're in that close, going back and forth race and you push yourself physically beyond what you thought were your own limits.
When everyone's moving at the same time, you sort of send backwards and everyone just feels like it's clicking together and you're flying through the water.
And to whether you succeed or failed, but to know that you have that ability is a huge thing.
The parents started to approach me and they said to me, "You don't know what you did." And I said, "What did I do?" They said, "Our children who were quiet, who didn't have goals in life, who were C students, we see them flourishing.
In the beginning of the season, we made a list of goals that we were to strive for.
We see them becoming joyful. We see them having a goal. We see them running to practice. We see them changed."
Port rowing has given her an opportunity to strengthen herself individually, physically, but also mentally.
The coaches are great. They have us working really hard.
And the coaches have really inspired her. Because of that, she has become a much more goal-oriented person.
It's definitely working and it's worth it.
And it's just been fabulous to see.
They're loving and strict at the same time.
Port rowing has done everything for CJ. It has done emotionally, socially, financially, physically, academically. It's one of those things, the less time you have, the more you get done, and he has been like the prime example of that.
Port rowing, when I started it, I was kind of a chubby freshman in high school, and I wasn't really doing the right thing.
Port rowing did literally save his life. I know it sounds really dramatic, but when you come from having nothing going on in your life to have this I don't even know how to explain it.
I wasn't really a great student, and once I started rowing, you know, my grades started, surprisingly, they went up.
It's not just a program, it's friendship, it's guidance, it's a goal.
Doing better in school. I'm in great shape now.
It's everything that we wanted for him. Port rowing gave it to him.
And I'm probably a lot happier than I was then.
It literally saved his life.
One of the great things about rowing is that it's not one person, it's not one superstar that makes it happen. It's the group of people really working together like in an 8-man boat.
Port rowing, there's something about it, and it's almost like a magical thing out there that has its own life. It just brings out the best in everybody.
Port rowing has become much more than a group of kids with boats and rowing and everything. It's really taken the community by storm.
There's nobody better than Steve. I think he's a treasure. I think we're very, very lucky to have someone like Steve.
Port rowing, it's bigger than rowing. It's bigger than just Port Washington. It's about giving kids a chance to experience rowing and further their opportunities in life.
You have people like Monica Dorman and people like Mitch Tampkin who had nothing to gain from putting this club together except that they wanted children in town to just love something that they love.
Port swimming is the best.
Only rowing, guys. We only rowed.
Yeah.
That's all we did. We rowed.
And action.
Steve Panzik. Steve, he's a total pleasure to work with.
Mitch Tampkin, pain in my ass. What? Did you get that?
So I'd have to say I like him. It kind of reminds me of Man of La Mancha. Man of La Mancha. I love him. I really love him. I love him.
Pain in my ass. Pain in my ass.
I really love him. Maybe he says like him. But anyway, don't put that in there. I maybe should say I really like him and love him. They're going to start, anyway, whatever.